Just wanted to take the time to, first of all, thank the community and the public for the assistance that they provided in assisting Mobile Police Department into taking into custody Todd Overstreet. Uh, Mr. Overstreet started his crime spree back in mid-December, and it carried through until he was taken into custody earlier today. I'm looking at about 13 different charges here in Mobile, Alabama alone. We have one count of burglary first, 2 counts of burglary second, 1 count of burglary third, 1 count of theft of property first, 1 count of receiving stolen property, 2 sodomy counts, 1 sexual abuse, 1 assault first, 2 counts of certain persons forbidding, and then of course unlawful breaking and entering motor vehicles. Again, he started his crime spree around December the 12th, and we're glad that we finally have him in custody. With the charges that I've read to you, there may be some additional charges that may be added at a later date, along with charges that may be forthcoming from the state of Mississippi as well.
I know a lot of people in the neighborhood this afternoon were breathing a sigh of relief, but also worried that he might be able to bond out of jail. Are you guys going to be asking for no bond since he tried to run so long?
Certainly, considering the fact that the long list of charges that we have, we're going to do everything we can on our end to encourage the courts to keep him in custody pending his trial. He's shown that he is has a propensity for violence, and he's also shown that he is a potential flight risk by the fact that he continued to move and he's going from state to state.
You were searching for him near that Cottage Christian school. He was actually found about 5 miles away from there. Do you know how he got there? Did he? We heard he might have stolen a car.
I'm not sure how he may have gotten there. Again, the investigators are conducting the interviews, so hopefully we'll get some insight into that, how he got to where he was. But again, because of the response that we got from the community and them calling in alerts and things of that nature there, and then of course the fact that the men and women of MPD saturated the areas and were on high alert and looking for him at the time. So I'm pleased with the outcome.
Was he armed when police captured him?
I don't have anything that indicated he was armed at the time he was taken into custody.
And did you have a tip that he was in that area near that funeral home, or did a police officer just happen to find him there?
As I said, because of the response that we received from the community, the tips that were called in, we were able to take him into custody.
Can you talk about the crime that really got the public's attention initially, the Christmas Day rape that occurred? Is sexual torture one of the charges too?
It's sexual abuse,
Okay.
not sexual torture. We have 2 counts of sodomy, and then of course the sexual abuse count and the burglary into the residence. And so those are the charges. Those were the most egregious, most heinous of the crimes that I read to you. The fact that individual was harmed in the process of him committing the crimes that he's committed. So certainly it did ramp up our efforts in trying to find him, and so we're glad that we have the outcome that we have with no additional people being injured or harmed.
And what are the charges potentially out of Mississippi? Are these property crimes, or are these more sexual assault?
These appear to be mostly property type crimes, UCWOC, possibly some misdemeanor offenses over there.
So he did manage to make it out of state in between the time that you all were looking for him after the Christmas?
Actually, his crime spree actually began in Mississippi, and he made his way over here.
What was it that made him Mobile's most wanted?
The fact that he went into somebody's home and he caused them harm. They were actually home and they caused injury to them. Obviously, stuff can be replaced, but people's lives cannot. And so the fact that he had shown that he did not have a problem with confronting individuals or people made him a more aggressive criminal for us, and so we wanted to make sure we took him into custody.
Did he have any connection at all to the victim in that case, or is it just completely random?
It appears it's completely random.
And is he being investigated for in connection to any other sexual assaults in our area?
So you guys know that we'll continue our investigation to try to find if there are any other crimes that he may have committed in our area. We'll continue to investigate him and look at his past history, and we'll do what we can to try to make sure that if there are any unsolved cases that may have involved him, that we've done everything we can to hold him accountable for every crime that he may have or would have committed in the Mobile area. This is an ongoing investigation. We're happy with the outcome that we have him in custody. But again, we'll continue to investigate and see if there are any additional things that we can find that he may be accountable for.
Is he due in court tomorrow? Do you know his bond hearing is?
I would anticipate it would be no later than Thursday, simply because of the rules that they have in place. It has to be within 72 hours. So we'll do everything we can to make sure that we're present whenever that bond hearing is set for.
And he was wearing a wig. Was that some sort of a disguise?
I don't know that. I didn't get the details.
With him
on
being
that.
on the run so long, are you guys looking at possibly any other arrests or any charges for anybody else for aiding and abetting?
You know, we've had these type of incidents occur before, and not always there's somebody helping them. You know, when it's cold like it is out here, we got a lot of homeless in the area, and so when we have those type of things happening, they're just ways for people to walk from one place to the next. We don't have any information that he was being assisted by anybody at the time that we took him into custody. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for coming out. You ready for the next slide?
I ain't saying nothing right now.
Police say that you raped a woman. Do you have anything to say for that?
Right here, right here.
I'm 52. I think, or almost, I think it would have happened by now if I'm gonna do something like that.
Why were you hiding in that house?
Hiding. I'm good.
Were you wearing a wig?
Were you wearing a wig?
I'm wearing a wig.
Where did you get the wig from?
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to say?
Don't do drugs.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the woman who was hurt?
Hey, y'all, give me a second. Excuse me, pardon me.